Hello and welcome to my little bookish corner of the internet. My name's Harriet. I'm bringing yet another book haul to you. I promise this is going to be one of the last ones, or maybe the last one, at least until I go on holiday, because I know I'll be buying some stuff when I'm out there. But I got these books when I went to Ely, and there was this really cute little bookshop there. It was an independent bookseller and they had loads of books that I really wanted. I was quite restrained, but I also did end up spending almost £40 just on 2 books. And then I bought another book from a kind of antique vintage store that was right next door to it. And then the other books I'll show you are from a book swap that I did with my friend. So yeah, let's get into it. So we'll start with the books that I got from the book swap. So Holly, that I talk with quite a lot on Bookstagram, was saying that they really wanted to read some of the books that I had read, which are the A Pinch of Magic series novels. So I was like, oh, I'll just send them over to you. You can have my old editions, because I bought new editions with all the sprayed edges. So I sent those over, and Holly very kindly was like, okay, I'm going to send you some books now. And I picked 2 out that I really wanted to read, and they got sent to me, and I'm really excited to show them to you. The first one I saw absolutely everywhere about a year and a half ago. Everyone was saying it was amazing. And that is Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. Now this is kind of part of a genre, or has themes that I don't necessarily tend to pick up when I'm in a bookstore or when I'm trying to decide what book to read next. But it really has captured my eye. I think it's the front cover, I just think it's very beautiful. But I'll read you the synopsis. Oh, Holly also sent a little letter with it with her keeping the book, but I'm just going to put it down there for now. When glamorous socialite Naomi Taboada receives a frantic letter from her newlywed cousin begging to be rescued from a mysterious doom, it's clear something is desperately amiss. Catalina has always had a flair for the dramatic, but her claims that her husband is poisoning her and her visions of restless ghosts sound remarkable even for her. Naomi's chic gowns and perfect lipstick are more suited to cocktail parties than amateur sleuthing, but she immediately heads to High Place, a remote mansion in the Mexican countryside, determined to discover what is so affecting her cousin. Tough and smart, she possesses an indomitable will, and she is not afraid. Not of her cousin's new husband, who is both menacing and alluring. Not of his father, the ancient patriarch who seemed to be fascinated by Naomi, and not of the house itself, which begins to invade Naomi's dreams with visions of blood and doom. Her only ally in this inhospitable abode is the family's youngest son. Shy and gentle, he wants to help, but he might also be hiding a dark knowledge of the family's past. For there are many secrets behind the walls of High Place. The family's once colossal wealth and faded mining empire kept them from prying eyes, but as Naomi digs deeper, she unearths stories of violence and madness. And Naomi, mesmerised by the terrifying yet seductive world of High Place, may soon find it impossible to leave this enigmatic house behind. So I don't know if this is going to have any kind of like fantastical or paranormal themes, or if it's just going to have kind of like a mystery thriller element. But like I say, I don't usually pick up books like this. I think maybe there's horror in here as well. I really don't know. It says on the front about it being a haunted house novel, so I'm going to guess there's some kind of paranormal thing going on in here. I mean, obviously, if it's haunted. But everyone was saying it was really incredible, and I mean, if Holly read it, then I'm probably going to really enjoy it. And the other book that I got was The Wolf and the Woodsman by Ava Reid. Again, I'll read you the synopsis. In her forest-veiled pagan village, Evike is the only woman without power, treated like an outcast due to her corrupted bloodline. So when soldiers arrive from the Holy Order of Woodsmen to claim a girl for the king's blood sacrifice, she's betrayed by her fellow villagers and surrendered. I don't want to read the rest of the synopsis because it kind of tells you what the story is. I don't really want to do that. But it says, a dark, evocative and unforgettable fantasy debut, steeped in Hungarian history and Jewish mythology, perfect for fans of Naomi Novik and Catherine Arden, who I have read neither of those authors, but I was again enticed by the front cover and the fact that it's kind of like a fantasy, almost like a fairy tale mythology story. So I'm very excited to get to this, and I have very high hopes. So those were both the books that I got at the book swap, and then I'll show you the books that I purchased. Now we'll start with the kind of front cover or back cover of the sleeve. I couldn't figure out what way this is supposed to go. I think this is the right way out, but I'm really not sure. But yeah, it was really beautiful, and this caught my eye. This was in the antique-y, vintagey shop. It didn't actually have a price on it at all, but I asked at the till and he said £10. So I was like, yeah, I'll definitely have that. And it's one of the books from the Folio Society, which I know are quite expensive, and they're always really beautiful editions. But it is Life by Richard Fortey. Now, I don't actually know a lot about this, but when you open it up, this is the front cover of the naked hardback. It's very beautiful. And you open it, and this one has got those kind of thick, almost photographic pages with images throughout, and it's a history of all the different creatures that live on Earth and have lived on Earth, and it's a natural history of the first 4,000 million years of life on Earth. So this is a non-fiction. It's going to take a very long time to read, I should imagine, but it'll be something you can kind of dip in and out of, and it gives me a history of different creatures that have lived on this Earth, which I'm always very interested in. And to be honest, it's just one of those books that you really want on your shelf. So I'm very happy that I found this. I can't believe it's £10, such a bargain. I've not actually read anything by this author, so please let me know if you have, and let me know if you have read this book and what you thought of it. It seems like it's going to take a really long time, and it's very, very heavy, but I am very happy to have my hands on it. And I was so excited to find the next two books. So this little bookshop, I think it's called Topping Booksellers. I'll correct myself on the screen if I'm wrong, but they are like a very tiny bookseller, and they have shops in Ely. There's some other places. I think there's one in Bath. There's in like 4 in the whole of the UK. And the people that work there were so lovely. And downstairs, so you've got all of your limited edition prints of books that are made just for this company. And they're so beautiful. They've got signed books all at the front, and then you go through and there's like fantasy science fiction. And then I think there was 3 or 4 levels. There were a lot of levels of so many gorgeous books. So I actually had to ask if they had any of this author's writing in that was non-fiction, because that's what I was hoping to find. I've got a lot of this author's fictional works, so I knew where that would be, kind of found that straight away, and then I was like, I wonder if they have any of the non-fiction, because they had a lot of different prints of this author's works and a lot of their kind of back catalogue. It wasn't just the main books that you find in bigger booksellers. So if you haven't already guessed who this is, I would be surprised if you've watched my channel quite a lot, but there are 2 non-fiction novels from Ursula Le Guin. I really wanted to read more of Le Guin's non-fiction. I do have a couple on my shelves. No, I haven't read them yet. I am really bad with buying books, but I knew as soon as I saw that these were in stock, because I did ask, and the guy that I asked pulled both of these out, and they were like, these are the only ones that we've got in. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll just take them both. So I paid, I think, £38 for both of these, but they're kind of hard to get your hands on. You can buy them off Amazon, but they're kind of expensive on there anyway. So I thought, oh, I'll just get them from here, because at least I'm supporting a smaller business. So the first one that I picked up is Dreams Must Explain Themselves. This is the selected non-fiction of Ursula Le Guin. And I did have a little peek on the inside. So it's essays and non-fiction. It says, these essays, talks, introductions, reviews and meditations published from 1972 to 2004, mostly in America, were reprinted in the collections The Language of the Night, Dancing at the Edge of the World, The Wave in the Mind, and Cheek by Jowl. From these 4 books, my British publisher and I selected 49 pieces for British readers, plus a 50th, a balance or update to the opening piece. So yeah, these have been specifically selected for UK audiences. Obviously everyone can read them, but I guess it's going to be more relatable to our society. I'm not entirely sure. It's a really thick and really big book. It's kind of like hardback size, but paperback. And yeah, I'm really excited to read this. Again, this is going to be one of those things that you can dip in and out of. There's not going to be, at least I don't think there's going to be kind of like a timeline or storyline to it. I really love the front cover as well, and I'm just so happy that I have this. And then the other one that I got is a hardback edition, so I think that's why everything was a bit more expensive. But it is Words Are My Matter, Writings About Life and Books from 2000 to 2016 by Ursula Le Guin. Now this I know is split into different categories, which is quite cool. So the first kind of section are talks, essays and occasional pieces, and then the next one is book introductions and notes on writers, and then there are book reviews in here as well. Le Guin touches on H.G. Wells, Philip K. Dick, Stanislaw Lem, Kent Haruf, Margaret Atwood, which are all authors that I've tried books from. So I'm really excited to hear what Le Guin thought to them and her experiences working with those authors. And I, again, am just so glad to have this in my hands. This one's not as thick, so I feel like I can get through this one a little bit quicker. But it's just going to be really interesting reading about other authors from a writer's perspective and seeing what she thought to their works and how it inspired her. So yeah, those are all of the books that I bought. I spent quite a lot of money, but that's okay, it's fine. You have to treat yourself once in a while, but that is going to be it for a little bit, I think. I'm not sure if this video will go up before or after some of the other book hauls that I filmed, but this is the last one that I am filming. So if you do see any more from me, they are pre-filmed unless they are the ones that I got from America. Trying to pre-film before you go on holiday is so stressful. The other day I filmed like 8 videos all in the same day, and it was just crazy. But yeah, anyway, enough blabbering. I do hope that you enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you've read any of these or if they interest you at all. But that is it for me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.